Fine. So our target for today is another skill topic. I just wanted to give a break in between. We had done the design thinking framework, and for the next data science methodology, I really wanted to wait a little. So I just wanted to give a break here. So today we do a very simple employability skill part, which is the unit 5 of green skills. Okay. So we have done one is communication skills. The second one we have done is self-management. Now third one I'm doing as the employability. And then we are left with two more. One is ICT skills and the next and the last one is entrepreneurship. Now ICT skills is basically for class 12th, you have Excel and PowerPoint. Right. They don't support using Microsoft. So we have to go for the open office, but it is mainly your Excel and PowerPoint which has to be done. So few things while the project is being done, we'll do certain activities in these two because you have to make a presentation and you have to voice record your explanation and all for the project report. And similarly, we for some data handling, we have to use Excel also at certain places. So Sath when you do it, I'll explain the things, whatever certain things maybe that you're not aware of them. एक ओवरऑल पीपीटी बनाना एंड एक्सेल में काम करना ऑल ऑफ अस नो है ना सो आईसीटी इज मेनली फॉर योर सेल्फ study part. I'm not going to refer to that. Entrepreneurship will do, but that I will do it in the next term after the July exam. So this particular one we need for the first term, so that is why I'm doing it today. And next tomorrow onwards we start with the data science methodology. Right? That's how I have planned it. Okay, so mainly here we talk about the green jobs that in the same field, whether it's like, supposingly it is transportation. So same field, earlier, the kind of jobs we had, or currently also we are having it, how the scenario is changing. We are getting the green collar jobs now in every field, whether it's transportation, agriculture, manufacturing. The green aspect is sustainable aspect is being taken up everywhere because it is becoming very, very important. Right. So basic thing what we talk about is about this. The what are green jobs and what are its importance? We are mainly focusing on that. So main significance of doing it is because our environment is getting affected. There is pollution, there's depletion of resources like air, water, soil, and it's happening globally. It's not only happening in India, it's happening everywhere. So we are trying to adopt greener practices to make the environment better and sustainable also, because ultimately years to come, the next generations to come, they need to have the environment with them in the form which is required. Right. Now there are certain, like rather many government initiatives which has been taken up to work in this direction. And the main council is what we call the Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship has set up this Skill Council for Green Jobs. So they have come up with this particular thing. And what is the purpose? It's working towards developing competencies of people in the domain of renewable energy, sustainable development, and waste management. So ये तीन major areas है where we need to work and work really hard, sincerely. Okay. So renewable energy, we all understand. Instead of fossil fuels, we are talking about solar energy. We're talking about wind energy. Like the kind of temperatures and the kind of heat we have in Delhi for the past 7, 8 days, 10 days almost. If we could trap that energy, we will be able to utilize it for a very huge power requirement. So trapping that energy is important, which is available freely to me. Okay. So renewable energy, sustainable development में हर चीज में you need to conserve it, use only the amount which is required. सोच के समझ के use कर, so that I can preserve it for the future generations to come. And the most important thing is the waste management. The amount of waste we generate, we'll study about it just now. Various categories of waste are there. So the amount of waste we are generating and we have no place to throw it. We have the dumps within the city now. City का boundary इतना बढ़ गया है, so called NCR has increased like leaps and bounds. So the waste dumping grounds have come inside the city. And that's really injurious to our health also. The gases which are released from there, they're really injurious to our health. So we have to do something about it. Government is also trying, people are also trying, startups are coming up in this direction. And we are giving a thoughtful consideration to all these things nowadays. Now, green jobs. Our focus is basically green jobs. So we are talking about that everything remains. I need mode of transportation. I need farming. I need everything. I mean, all aspects. Electricity भी चाहिए, सब कुछ चाहिए. But then how much green aspect we can develop in that, और उस तरीके से job का profile कैसे change हुआ है in the current scenario, and also in the coming days, the requirement of these things are going to increase only. है ना? So we are trying to address both economic and environmental challenges simultaneously. Economic setup भी चाहिए हमें, वहाँ पे भी we have to see, but keeping the environment under consideration. तो सब कुछ ही देखना है. We have to mitigate the impacts of the climatic change, which is happening globally. It's not only happening in this part of the country, I mean, this part of the universe. It's happening everywhere. Now, the purpose of the green jobs, I'm saying that if in every field I am talking about green jobs, then how exactly it is helping me? क्यों चाहिए मुझे? Why am I thinking even about it? Right? So definitely the first one is focusing on the global warming. And there we are saying that the greenhouse gas emissions को reduce करता है. ये जितना भी SCFC है, nitrous oxide है, methane है, all those polluting agents, carbon dioxide है, sulfur dioxide है, which is coming from your transportation, industries, everywhere, even your ACs, all these are leading to global warming. Why? I've tried to give it in a basic diagrammatic manner that these greenhouses, I mean, these gases are getting trapped in the environment. They are not able to move out. And because of it, it is causing increase in temperature. Like nowadays, we see overall increase in the basic temperature levels. And that is why our glaciers are melting, which is going to be really problematic in the years to come. So that is why ये जितने भी gases है, इनका emission हमें जितना possible है उसको minimize करना है. Because they trap the heat from the earth and prevent it from escaping in the space. Atmosphere में नहीं जाने देता, उसको trap कर लेता gas में, which creates problems. Okay. Now for that, what have we actually thought of a solution is use of CNGs. They are also creating problem. It is not like that. But then we are trying to reduce the use of other fossil fuels like your petroleum and other things. And we are trying to move over to the CNG, compressed natural gas. Now, again, waste, reduce waste. So managing or minimizing your waste and thus reducing the pollution concerning that. Okay, so here you have to remember these 5 R's. हम लोग generally 3 R's पढ़ते हैं, but there are 5 R's concerned with it. And what are those? Refuse. First is your refuse. That means do not buy or do not acquire things which you do not need, which you don't need. There's no need to change your phone every 6 months, actually. Right? So there's no need. You can easily work with the one which is currently there. Fashion ke chakkar mein, style ke chakkar mein, we do those things, but it is not required. So refuse. Say no to what you don't need. Of course, reduce. Try to donate or sell. Let go of your things which are no longer in use. Do not just keep on dumping it around you. Try to reuse the things as much as possible. Disposable चीजों को मत encourage करो. Disposable cups, disposable your plates, disposable spoons. We are always trying to, because they are not eco-friendly at all. So that is why we try to switch from these disposable items to eco-friendly material, and things are happening in this direction. Like in many ways, they are saying that they are trying to encourage people कि आप लोग edible material का spoons और plates बनाओ, कोई यूज करो, और इको फ्रेंडली जो कि एनवायरनमेंट अब्जॉर्ब कर लेगा, इस तरह की चीजों से ट्राई टू क्रिएट दोस डिस्पोजेबल मटेरियल्स जो हम लोग यूज करते हैं, रियूजेबल थिंग्स, आई मीन डिस्पोजेबल थिंग्स, सॉरी. So these are happening, but then we'll end up getting these things pretty expensive. That is why it doesn't become popular. अगर ये cost effective हो जाएगा, then it is going to be popular also, no problem. So I mean, new generation is now going to come up with ideas every now and then, experimenting with new things. So you try to develop material or raw materials such that they are eco-friendly also, and they do not create waste. Consume हो जाएगा वो, है ना? So we need to have those kind of alternatives. Then the next R is your rot. That means household waste को throw करने से ज्यादा better है कि आप उसको manure में convert करो, compost बनाओ. I've also been thinking about doing it, but somehow नहीं हो पाता. If you have a bigger garden kind of a thing na, in your homes, so you may kind of dump it out at a place where it doesn't stink, or it kind of mitigates in the atmosphere and the environment. Otherwise, in these flats, if you try to do it, the stink stays on, right? Because you're actually rotting in those things in front of you. That rotting smell is very strong. So compost banane ke liye they say recommend. It's very good. You can utilize it in your household itself, in the plants and all you grow. So that is one R, and the other is recycle. That is also one of the things which we can do. Recycle your waste. Right? See the symbols they are using here. Okay, I'm not saying that the symbols will be asked in the exam, but see the symbols which are being used. Refuse, reduce, reuse, rot, and recycle. सबका symbol अलग है ना? So these symbols are also something which, as a citizen, you must be able to identify. Like we have the traffic signals. Similarly, these are certain things which you must know. So minimizing waste is something which is a very, very significant thing. And this is one of the targets of mine. My mouse is behaving really oddly. Okay. So next is my protecting and restoring the ecosystem, biodiversity, trees come kar kato, पेड़ लगाओ, wetlands create karo, because that will help me control the floods. I don't really know what's happening. Why is it behaving like this? Jumping across waves. Wherein I'm not clicking also anyway. Yeah. So soil health को restore करना बहुत जरूरी है. That is why we talk about wetland creation. जिससे कि trees लगेंगे तो automatically the soil is restored. Soil is preserved. Otherwise वो top layer जिसमें सबसे ज्यादा fertility होता है, that is washed up during floods. So all these the entire ecosystem and biodiversity has to be protected. Otherwise your animals will come to the urban cities and then they create a havoc. We see that nowadays. In South also, like there were jungles, and jungles are being cut to create resorts and hotels and things like that. So the animals have no place to stay. They don't have anything to eat. Hence they sneak into the areas where humans live. You see that nowadays. And next we have adapting to the effects of climate change. So accordingly, we have to see that what needs to be done in order to minimize the effects of the climate change also. Okay. Isme there's a government plan, and that's called the National Action Plan on Climate Change, NAPCC, which is again launched by Government of India to deal with the related issues. This particular chapter, may you got a lot of, I have summarized it at the end, lot of government plans and actions, committees which has been created. So we have to just go through it. Okay. So these are the effects of my positive effects of my green jobs. Now let's talk about the green jobs in various categories to some extent. Okay. Like we have agriculture, we have transportation, we have water consumption, we have tourism. All these categories are there. तो इसमें green jobs का किस तरीके से opportunities are coming up and these are becoming important and relevant in today's world. Right? So in agriculture, we are all talking about organic farming, agriculture tourism, and organic farming is very, very important, getting important nowadays because use of pesticides, synthetic pesticides, which we are using to grow our vegetables and fruits, we are using in the farms, that is really leading to depletion of the soil quality. That is reducing the quality of the product also, the output also, which you're getting in the form of, I mean, they look good, but they're not nutritious. है ना? So pesticides का use water pollution create कर रहा है, soil pollution create कर रहा है. So we have to think in this direction that we do not support it much. Moreover, one can prevent the death of insects, bird, critters, and other beneficial soil organisms if you use too much of pesticides. Now, these insects, birds, they are part of the cycle, our food cycle. So it's very important that they too exist with us, integrate with the system. But these use of pesticides are basically taking them away, right? So farm mechanization is also one category of green jobs in this. Pest management है, सब कुछ है इसके अंदर. But obviously, the most significant thing is organic farming. People are making their own farms. They are producing organic items, seed available in the markets also. That this is organic tomatoes, organic potatoes, everything is available. Too expensive, but that yes, they are available. So by organic farming, I mean that I use organic fertilizers, not pesticides. I use as much as possible local resources, no GMOs. Then you have जितना possible है non-renewable resources को use नहीं करो, water consumption को lower करो, increase the soil organic matter, all these to improve the soil quality. Rather than depleting it of the resources, I mean the organisms, you increase the quality of the soil. That is the focus of organic farming. Okay, the people are going towards it. We hear about IITians leaving the jobs and landing up in some hilly area or somewhere in Kerala or somewhere in Tamil Nadu, and they are making their own farms, making their own produce, and then creating a huge business out of it. Right? So these things are happening. Transportation is something which is a very, very significant. Of course, agriculture too and transportation too, both are important equally. But in the field of transportation also, electric vehicles are something which is trying to help out. That is a complete new field as I'm talking about green jobs here. So I'm putting up that particular thing, that complete new technology, alternate fuels का usage in your day-to-day lives for transportation. Okay, we try to have energy efficient vehicles and we are trying to develop electric vehicles here. सब कुछ electric vehicles में आया है in terms of two-wheelers, in terms of four-wheelers, in terms of public transport also. So these are things that are coming up, but they do have their own issues associated. It's not that वो बिल्कुल pollution create नहीं करता, it does do it, but not as much as the fossil fuel based modes are actually creating. ठीक है? Biomass is something which is the cow dung we are talking about. उससे भी they are saying कि in the villages it's readily available. So try to utilize as much as possible. Biofuels create करो from that and increase the production of biodiesel. So all green friendly, environmental friendly things we are trying to do. And basic, cycle more, walk more, do not take your car to the gym or to the park to walk, right? Take your cycle to the park. because obviously your park will not be 5 kilometers or 7 kilometers away. You'll have it nearby only. But we see people going for a walk, but going in a car. It is there in our cities. So that is why pool carpools is something which should be done. Public transportation, jitna marzi use karo, though public transportation is also swelling up too much. You don't get seats and you don't get comfortable, environment in those public transport. So people don't prefer it. But then, yes, as much as possible, we need to incorporate that. Water conservation again, very, 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 very important in the years to come. The fight will be on water, because drinking water is something which is becoming scarce day by day. जिसके लिए बहुत important है कि रेन वाटर हार्वेस्टिंग को बूस्ट किया जाए, रिवर लिंकिंग किया जाए. Like somewhere there are floods, somewhere there is drought within a country itself. So why not go for river linking? Right? Water conservation के लिए you have got to use various methods also, wherein the usage is minimized and pollution also is minimized, and you get a better conservation. Okay? Like यहाँ पे they had given an example. I thought it's interesting, so I've included it. By using bamboo channels for drip irrigation. We all understand what drip irrigation is. So bamboo channels को use करेंगे, which are cheaper to build and they are biodegradable. So bamboo roots can be easily added to the soil as manure. जब वो 2-3 साल बाद खराब हो जाएगा. ठीक है? So that is one way we can go for it. Then cycle run water pumps instead of electricity run pumps. Water quality को test करो from time to time. And rainwater harvesting is something which we must do. River linking is something else we must do. We are making such huge connectivity for transport. We must do for river linking also. And of course, solar energy, wind energy, maybe you have engineering degrees nowadays. So there are jobs involved in these fields and categories also. Things are working in that direction. So certain jobs they are talking about here is installers, people who maintain the solar panels in homes of big businesses, who are talking about assembling those things, testing those things, repairing those things. So green jobs are created in every field where these categories are also incorporated. Ecotourism is also becoming very, very popular regarding eco-tour guides, eco-tour operators, and they talk about how do you reduce pollution, कितना natural environment को उन्होंने use किया है, conserve किया है resources को, waste को reduce किया है, use of waste को reduce किया है, waste को reduction किया है. So in the ecotourism, the visitors are guided in these directions. And there are many parks, eco-friendly parks available in India also at various places where these kind of tours are created for people to know, because it's very important for the awareness. So all those people who are involved in creating that kind of a ecotourism environment is definitely a category of green jobs. Then we have the other aspects, multiple aspects are there, like biogas production, water treatment filtration, farm mechanization, sanitation, rainwater harvesting तो हमने discuss किया है, lighting, food production. हर जगह पे the green jobs is actually coming into play. It says that environmental friendly करो चीजों को और locally available resources को use करो as much as possible. Building construction also, we are seeing that things are working in that direction. People are creating, if you see multi-storied buildings there, which is happening in cities nowadays. So there they are trying to utilize, they're creating vertical gardens. Singapore, that's so much prevalent. Vertical gardens they are creating. Then they are trying to make as much as green lands possible. Landscaping they are doing. And they're trying to use environmental friendly materials also. Though it's not happening, maybe I would say when there's bulk production, but we do hear about people, who have utilized eco-friendly material to make a full house. ठीक है, कितना वो urban life में, urban living में अभी भी use हो पा रहा है. But then we have seen streets being created or what do you call them, footpaths being created by प्लास्टिक से क्रिएट किया हुआ ब्रिक्स. आई थिंक एवरीबडी हैज हर्ड अबाउट इट. हैव यू सीन? वी हैव सीन these videos taking rounds in YouTube and Facebook and all that. Plastics are being utilized to create bricks. और फिर उस brick को use करके the roads are being created or the footpaths and the gardens are being created. At times they are being used in homes also. But still it is not very, very prevalent. उसमें design work चल रहा है, उसके अंदर research चल रहा है so as to have it easily available and cost effective also. That is something which is very, very important. Something which is not cost effective will not have a existence for long. That is for sure. There could be few people who will go for something like that. But उसका एक mass appeal के लिए it is very important that you have a cost effectiveness involved in that. Otherwise, it will not have that kind of a appeal. Right? So jobs are created in these kind of categories also, construction and building constructions also. Fine. Then we move on to the last part of it, green jobs in solid waste management. Now there are 14 categories where the government has categorized your solid waste, domestic in terms of the origin, from where is that waste being created. So it could be industrial waste, domestic waste, or commercial places में जो waste create होता है. Then you have garbage, street sweepings, dead animals, construction waste, जो कि बिल्कुल ही नॉन फ्रेंडली और इको फ्रेंडली होता है, नहीं होता है. Demolition waste, buildings demolish हो रहे हैं, चीजें हो रही हैं, तो that waste. Sewage waste, which is very difficult to handle. The sewage being created is very, very hazardous, right? So solid waste management के लिए भी you have to jobs are being created in that direction, which talks about e-waste recycling, waste reduction, waste auditing, waste control. ये सब हर तरह का category है जहाँ पे the green jobs are being created, and this is something which is very, very significant also. Now these are the terms which I thought that need to be highlighted. I'm not saying that they will be directly asked in the exams, because till the papers which I've seen, I've not really seen much of these questions, but then these are something which are good for you to know also. Like Energy Efficiency Services Limited, EECL, is under the Ministry of Power, and it has launched the electric vehicle program. Then biofuel policy is there, which talks about enhanced use of biomass. Then you have electric vehicle technologies, which is PHEV, जिसमें कि आपका hybrid vehicle की बात हो रही है. Plug-in hybrid vehicles, which is there nowadays, that you can use fossil fuel engine also and electric engine also, both. The Indian Green Building Council, that is there. Krishi Vigyan Kendra, you must have studied in SST in your class 10th. Then you have these FIGs, which are basically farmer interest groups. 15 farmers of a village are, they are coming together, creating an association, farmer producer organization, which is which discuss that how to improvise on the farming, and they come up with methods and means to do so. So all these are initiatives of government which has been taken care, which are helping us out. Then there are some more specific which are promoting sustainable practices, like National Solar Mission, Clean India Mission, National Mission for Sustainable Agriculture, Green Skill Development Program, Skill Council for Green Jobs, which we were talking about, Jal Shakti Abhiyan, National Electric Mobility Mission Plan, faster adoption and manufacturing of hybrid and electric vehicles. So why the scheme? Because government provides some kind of donation to those people who are doing, they are exempted from some taxes if the companies are involved into these kind of manufacturing. So they are trying to promote these things. क्योंकि हर जगह रिसर्च इन्वॉल्व है ना, तो कंपनीज डोंट वांट टू गो इनटू दैट रिसर्च. टेक्नोलॉजी तो चाहिए, बनाना कैसे? कल को आप मुझे कुछ चीज बनाने को बोलते हो, आई नीड द टेक्नोलॉजी, एंड हाउ डू आई डू इट? और आई हैव टू इन्वेस्ट to employ people or for the research and development, and then only I can go for it. Right? So all these schemes have been launched by government and private sectors in collaboration, and they are promoting the sustainable practices. Certain questions I thought that I'll pick up from the book itself. अभी मैंने इतना ज़्यादा scan नहीं किया papers. So, but these are the kind of things which can be asked from this topic. Some ways by which we can reduce the amount of waste generated. Generic questions are you have to think and write. Importance of green jobs that we have discussed in typical. कि वो ग्रीन हाउस गैस एमिशंस को रिड्यूस करता है, सोलर एनर्जी को यूज करता है, बेटर सस्टेनेबल एनवायरनमेंट देता है हमको. सो ऑल दीज थिंग्स. नेम एनी टू ग्रीन जॉब्स इन द फॉलोइंग सेक्टर्स, है ना. So those listed jobs you'll have to keep in mind. Whether it's construction, whether it's transportation, whether it's your renewable energy. Like renewable energy, if I talk about solar energy, so solar energy mein green jobs could be the solar panel installation technicians, repair technicians, creating those solar panels. That industry is also come under green job. Now, certain MCQs, if I see here, Rita's children fall sick very often. They have cold and cough every month. What should Rita do? Certain options where we are talking about these filters. HEPA का full form मुझे भी ध्यान नहीं आ रहा, but these are the air purifiers which we can install in order to take care of that. Then we have Janvi's children have grown up. They have a lot of clothes and which have grown small for them. So what should Janvi do with these old clothes? Burn them, throw them in the trash, keep using them even it's not applicable. Donate them or make bags out of it. You can make cushions out of it. You can make chaddars out of it or covers out of it if they are in really good condition, depending upon where you want to use that chaddar or blanket or whatever, blanket cover. Right, so these kind of reusable things can be created, and we can reuse the ones which are become obsolete for me otherwise. Right, so these are the kind of questions which can be asked from this particular part. Okay, as per the topic, it is green jobs. The focus is on the green jobs and its importance as per your syllabus. Okay, so इससे concerned, when we get the as per new syllabus, I'm expecting some sample papers they'll give us, but this portion has not changed. Employability portion is same. So from the previous papers, we can pick up the employability skills questions at least and see that how things have been asked. Right? So that is completing your third part of the employability skills. And no more of it, 2 more left, no more of it in this term. I'm going to take it up in the next term now, like after August. And tomorrow onwards, we'll start with our next important chapter, which is an 8-marker chapter, design methodology. क्योंकि आपका project का पूरा process है for class 4. ठीक है? I'll be sharing the material for your project work. Just go through it and see how much you can correlate with that. Fine? See you tomorrow.
Yes,
Bye-bye.
bye.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye-bye.